out of the station.
Kwa ujumla wake utaona kwamba kuna zaidi ya ofisi 312 na bado stendi ina eneo kubwa, inaweza ikajiongeza kulingana na mahitaji ya watumiaji.
The Minister of Information, Culture, Arts and Sports, Innocent Bashungwa, has said that the government is still investigating the incident where the director of Temeke Municipal, Lusikilo Mwakabibi, directed municipal officers to detain 2 journalists when they were implementing their duties, adding that journalists' rights must be protected.
Lakini pia zipo haki za wanahabari. Sasa pale tunapoona haki za wanahabari na ambao wanafanya kazi kwa mujibu wa sheria.
There are journalists' rights when we see such rights are violated. Once they are at work, there is no any public leader who is above the law. After receiving complaints from journalists who were kept under arrest, what I made sure is that the required measures are taken. So long as a journalist has not broken any law, just continue working confidently. I'm here to protect your interests. I assure you the 6th phase government under Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan is the government that fights for the minorities.
Members of the Board of Trustees for Tanzania National Park Authority, TANAPA, have said that they will use the electricity shoring project at Julius Nyerere Dam being implemented at the Nyerere National Park so as to increase tourist visits at the park.
Sasa TANAPA tumekabidhiwa eneo hili National Park Nyerere na mradi uko ndani ya National Park Nyerere.
Nyerere National Park is in the hands of TANAPA, while the power project is also within the park. It is our responsibility to ensure that security is good within the area. TANAPA is now paramilitary. We are within the security system and not just focusing on animals. Following the project, tourism activities will grow more in this zone, although Nyerere National Park has just begun a few years ago, but it is the largest national park in Tanzania.
Naamini kabisa mwisho wa siku ile itakuja kwenye bodi ya wadhamini ili kuomba kuidhinishwa. Alafu iwe sasa.
At the end of the day, permit will begin by a sponsors board. We have already earmarked areas that will be used for tourism. The dam itself is a tourist attraction. With time, it is our hope that tourism activities at Nyerere National Park will grow bigger and better because of the dam, water activities, and the ecology.
Na kwa kweli huduma hii imefanyika kwa uzuri kabisa na kwa ukamilifu.
Honestly, the service has been well organized. So far, there are no reports of injury or death from wild animal attacks. We are grateful for services that TANAPA is offering for this project. For security of the project, our gates are well guarded by TANAPA to ensure that the project is completed under safe environment.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Liberata Murmula, has received credentials from the appointed ambassador of Turkey to Tanzania, Mehmet, whereby she said that Tanzania will continue to strengthen relations with Turkey in infrastructure, tourism, business and investment sectors.
Tumeongelea kuhusu jinsi Uturuki imeshirikiana na sisi katika miradi mbalimbali.
We have discussed how Turkey has cooperated with us in different projects, especially SGR, and how to increase tourism and trade relations between these two countries. So far, trade relations are good. Many Tanzanians go to Turkey for business activities. Meanwhile, in the country, there is quite a good number of Turkish companies operating in Tanzania.
I hope we can contribute. There's already strong relation, but we can take it a better way, a stronger way with the Turkey and Tanzania relations. We have lots of common things, and we have lots of good reasons and things to do on business, on social relations, on lots of cultural relations. I hope in my next months and years of duty time I can realize it. I'm very happy to be in here. I really take the karibu, the welcome of the Tanzania, and I hope I can contribute this Tanzania-Turkey relation.
Mobile phone company Tigo has awarded more than 100 agents from various parts of the country who have met requirements during 10 years of Tigo Pesa services.
Tunakuwa na promotion tofauti za mawakala, lakini kwa hii promotion ya mwezi wa 3 uliopita mwaka 2021 ni kuwashukuru kwa kuwa nasi katika sherehe za miaka 10 ya Tigo Pesa. Kwa hii promotion ni mahususi kwa kuwashukuru kwa kuwa nasi tunaposherehekea miaka 10 ya Tigo Pesa. Zitakuja nyingine tofauti ambazo zitakuwa zinaangalia vitu tofauti, zina malengo tofauti, lakini kwa leo hii promotion ilikuwa ni kwa washukuru wateja wetu kwa kuwa nasi, kuendelea kuwahudumia wateja wetu zaidi ya milioni 9 nchi nzima kila siku kwa kuwapa huduma nzuri.
And that is the end of national news. International news comes next after the break. And in international news, detectives from the Directorate of Criminal Investigation in Kenya have detained 2 suspects who were found in possession of an assortment of firearms and ammunition. More on the story. Here, both of whom hold dual citizenship, were arrested by stealth from the DCI's Anti-Terrorism Police Unit at their home in Raisisols, Dorogoti Kona, Nairobi County. Among weapons recovered were 4 pistols and a close-quarter Uzi automatic submachine gun capable of firing 600 rounds per minute, as an assortment of over 3,700 rounds of ammunition of different caliber. The detectives believe the cache of arms and ammunition were smuggled into the country for terrorist activities. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken has begun an announced visit to Afghanistan to brief officials on President Joe Biden's plan to withdraw all American troops by the 10th anniversary of the September 11 attacks this year. More on the report. Blinken Thursday met Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani as well as senior U.S. officials in Kabul and briefed them on Biden's Wednesday's announcement that he was ending the forever war which began in response to the September 11, 2001 attacks. President Biden announced that the remaining 2,500 U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan would be withdrawn starting on May 1st to end its longest war, rejecting calls for them to stay to ensure a peaceful resolution to that nation's grinding internal conflict. Somalia has accused some of its foreign backers of undermining its sovereignty after the embattled government was threatened with sanctions over a decision to extend the president's mandate by 2 years. More on the report. Key foreign allies and financial supporters have rebuked the decision in strong terms, saying the mandate extension threatens peace and stability in Somalia and distracts its fighting against the Al-Shabaab armed groups. President Mohamed Abdullahi on Wednesday signed into law a special resolution extending his time in office despite his term expiring in February. And that is the end of international news. Business comes next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
in business news, Arusha District Council is owed more than 3 billion shillings, which it had issued as loans to entrepreneurs from women, youth and people with disabilities groups. The debt that has affected speed of loans provision to other targeted beneficiaries.
There are assumptions that have been made among people that this money belongs to the government. And even if you take it, you will not be bothered. But I want to tell you that this money comes from 10% of your income.
Ni mkopo, lakini ukiangalia sana si mkopo. Ni fedha tu ambazo umeazimwa.
If you look closely, it's not a loan. It's only interest-free money. Even if you are given 10 million, you'll have 15 months to return 10 million.
Tanzania Revenue Authority TRA, in collaboration with Tanzania Education Institute, are implementing taxpayer education in secondary schools aimed at providing students with knowledge as well as build a culture of paying taxes.
Elimu hii tunayoitoa sasa hivi, kusema ukweli, sisi matarajio yetu kwamba itakuwa na tija.
The education we provide is of great use, and we hope it will be helpful for present and future generations because these children have brothers and parents who can give them tax education.
Kwa hiyo tunaona kwamba tukielimisha vijana hao katika umri mdogo,
if we educate these children at such a young age, they will be good taxpayers, patriots, and with self-awareness, and some will be TRA employees, business people, taxpayer advisors, and so on.
Washauri wa kodi, wengine watakuwa wananchi wa kawaida.
Upande wetu elimu hii ina tija kwa sababu
on our side, this is such a productive education for students. Even in the near future, if we become leaders, we will disseminate this information given and managing it well. The Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Engineer Hamad Yusuf Masauni, has directed the Accounting General and Chief Internal Auditor to oversee accordingly professionals in the field in order to address accountancy shortcomings, including loss of public funds, frequently revealed by the Controller and Auditors General.
Wataka mhasibu mkuu wa serikali pamoja na mkaguzi mkuu wa ndani wa serikali.
Let me use this opportunity to ask the Chief Government Accountant and the State Auditors General to effectively manage the accounting and auditors cadres in ensuring we help them build capacity by participating in this training to gain skills and knowledge and help our country achieve the goals we have set for ourselves. And that is the end of business news. Sports comes next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. He did lose and then
And in sports, defending champions Simba Sports Club have been drawn to face Kagera Sugar in the 5th round of the Azam Sports Confederation Cup. Here's more.
According to the draw conducted on Wednesday and obtained by goal, the Msimbazi Giants will host the Sugar Millers between April 28th and May 2nd. The same period, their rivals Yanga will come up against Tanzania Prisons. In other matches, Division 1 side Rhino Rangers will take on Arusha FC. Biashara United will come up against Ruvu Shooting. Mwadui FC will host Coastal Union. Dodoma City will come up against KMC FC, while JKT Tanzania will face Namungo. Simba won the domestic cup title last season after beating Namungo 2-1 in the final, and they ended up clinching a double as they also won the mainland Premier League.
The Vodacom's Premier League proceeds tomorrow with KMC FC facing Gombina FC at the Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
So maandalizi ya siku 12 ameneka katika shape nzuri.
The 12 days preparation has put me in a good position to get a good result for the team and to provide our fans and football fans in Tanzania with happiness in soccer, because soccer is among the things that make you happy.
Furaha katika mpira, na mpira ni sehemu moja ya furaha.
Kwenye kambi yetu kwa watu ambao wiki tumetrain kwa ajili ya mechi wote tuko salama.
Everyone that trained in our camp for this match is in a good condition. We will miss a few players that played against Yanga because, for instance, 2 players, Kenny Ali Mwambungu, who won't be in the squad, as well as Bryson, who was injured in that game.
A senior member of Japan's ruling party has said that cancelling the Tokyo Olympics remains an option if the coronavirus pandemic continues to worsen. Here's more.
If it seems impossible to do it anymore, then we'll have to stop decisively, Toshiro Nikai, Secretary General of the Liberal Democratic Party, said in a TV interview that has yet to be aired. While Nikai did not call for the games to be called off, his comments are at odds with the united front presented by the Japanese government, Tokyo 2020 organizers, and the International Olympic Committee, IOC, all of which insist that the delayed event will open as planned on 23rd of July. The pandemic shows no signs of slowing in several parts of the world, while experts in Japan have warned that the country has entered a 4th wave of COVID-19 infections driven by mutant strains of the virus. Nikai, a powerful party faction leader who was instrumental in electing Yoshihide Suga as prime minister last year, said cancellation was of course an option, telling the TBS network if the Olympics were to spread infections, then what are the Olympics for? The Nikkei business newspaper quoted a senior government official as saying in response to Nikkei that it will be impossible to cancel the Olympics.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has stated Manchester United's red shirt had merged with Old Trafford's red surroundings and prevented players from seeing a teammate in the split second required during games, leading to the club to introduce black banners in the stands. Here are more details.
United host Granada in the Europa League quarter-final second leg tonight with a 2-0 lead. Solskjaer was asked why in previous rounds Real Sociedad and Milan were defeated 4-0 and 1-0 away, but his team could only draw at home 0-0 and 1-0 respectively. Solskjaer's statement comes a day after the 25th anniversary of Alex Ferguson ordering United to change from grey shirts to blue and white stripes when trailing 3-0 at halftime at Southampton. They still lost 3-1. The switch to black surrounds at Old Trafford occurred on 2nd of April, meaning United's sole home match since was a 2-1 win against Brighton.
Zinedine Zidane has Real Madrid chasing down La Liga champions and a league double, but is wary of biting back at his critics at his side. Haven't won anything yet. Here's the story.
The Frenchman has had his methods and future called into question during the 2020-21 campaign, but is looking to have the last laugh with most major silverware. A semi-final berth was secured with a 0-0 draw against Liverpool at Anfield, as a 3-1 aggregate win was wrapped up, but Zidane is aware that the tide could turn again if current standards are not maintained. Zidane told reporters when asked if he has a message for his detractors. He said, "I'm not going to say anything. We are alive in both competitions, but we haven't won anything yet."
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. Thank you for watching and good night.
Nukuu ya rais.
Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Sisi ni watumishi wa Watanzania na nitakuwa na kipimo cha mabega. Nikiona mtu mabega yanazidi kupanda juu, najua huyo sio mtumishi, huyo anaenjoy juu kiti chake, na jambo ambalo silitarajii. Ndatarajia mawaziri nisikie mko huko kwa Watanzania, kila mmoja kwa sekta yake.
Nukuu ya Rais Mheshimiwa Samia Suluhu Hassan.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.